My beloved child, listen to my voice. I am the ever-present one, your loving Father. In every moment of your life, I am whispering to you, guiding you toward peace and light. Your trust is a precious gift you can offer me. Like a farmer who sows seeds for a future harvest, plant your faith in me and you will reap joy, peace, and fulfillment. When you face challenges and storms in life, do not let your heart be troubled. I am at work, even when you cannot see it. The seeds I am planting in your life will grow and bear fruit in their season. Remember, I never forget you. Even when you feel alone or lost, I am holding you in my arms. Every tear you shed, I see. Every prayer you whisper, I hear. Entrust everything into my hands. Do not fear, for I have overcome the world. Do not worry, for your future is secure in my love. Do not hesitate to place your life into the grand design I have prepared. For everything I do is for your good. You are my treasure, the delight of my heart. Trust in me as a child trusts in their parents. For in me, you will lack nothing. Rise and walk in trust. I am the one who guides your steps, the light to your path. Let your faith be the power that transforms obstacles into stepping stones toward perfection. My beloved, I am always love's here. Listen to my voice. Trust in me. Love me. My child, know that every moment of your life is known to me. The paths you walk, whether they feel smooth or steep, are within my sight. I am not a distant observer. I am walking with you, step by step, holding you when you feel weary and carrying you when the weight becomes too much. When you trust in me, you are not gambling with your life. Trusting me is not a risk. It is the safest, most certain investment you can ever make. For I am the creator of all things, the one who holds time, eternity, and every blessing in my hands. I see your struggles. I know the questions that keep you awake at night, the fears that whisper doubts into your heart. But child, let me remind you, my plans for you are good. Even in the moments when it feels like your life is unraveling, I am weaving a beautiful masterpiece. My timing is perfect, though it may not align with your expectations. Be patient, my child. Trust that I am working, even in the waiting. When the answers seem delayed, remember that I am never late. I am aligning everything for your ultimate good and for my glory. Do not compare your journey to others. The path I have for you is unique. I have placed within you gifts and purposes that are tailored to the mission I have entrusted to you. Celebrate the victories of others, but do not let their pace discourage you. I am leading you on a road that will bring you into my perfect plans. I am your provider, your protector, your peace. When you feel weak, lean on my strength. When you feel uncertain, rest in my wisdom. When you feel afraid, take refuge in my love. I am your anchor in the storm, your rock that cannot be shaken. Trust me more deeply. Trust me not only with the big decisions, but with the small ones too. Trust me in your joys and in your sorrows, in your triumphs and in your failures. Let your life be a reflection of your confidence in me. My child, the more you trust me, the more you will see my hand at work. Trust opens the door for my blessings to flow freely into your life. Faith moves mountains, and your faith is precious in my sight. Walk forward in courage. Take each step, knowing that I am with you. Let my word guide your decisions, and let my love be the foundation of your life. I will not fail you, my beloved. My promises are true, and my faithfulness endures forever. My precious child, know this: my love for you is unshakable, immeasurable, and eternal. There is nothing that can separate you from my love. When the world seems overwhelming and you feel like you are lost, remember that I am always with you. I am not a God who abandons, but a Father who stays near, holding you close. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you encounter, is an opportunity for you to trust me even more deeply. I am shaping you, refining you, and drawing you nearer to my heart. It is in these moments of trial that your trust in me becomes more precious than gold. I have equipped you with all you need. Do not doubt the strength and wisdom I have placed within you. In the midst of uncertainty, I will remind you of the power that comes from walking with me. Lean on my Spirit, for he will guide you, teach you, and bring peace to your heart. When the road ahead seems unclear, do not be afraid to take the next step. Trust is not about knowing all the answers. It is about knowing that I am with you every step of the way. Even when you cannot see the end, I am already there, preparing the way for you. My plan for you is filled with hope. I have a future for you, a future filled with purpose, peace, and joy. You may not always see how the pieces fit, but trust that I am the master weaver, and each part of your life is a thread in my grand tapestry. My purpose for you is good, and my timing is perfect. When you feel like giving up, remember that I am the God who makes a way where there seems to be no way. I open doors that no one can shut, and I will lead you to a place of blessing. Trust that even in your waiting, I am preparing something beautiful for you. Rest in my presence. Your soul finds rest in me alone. Do not strive or be anxious. When you rest in me, I renew your strength. When you trust in me, I fill you with peace that surpasses all understanding. Let go of the burdens you carry, for I am the one who will carry them for you. Walk in my love and grace. As you trust me, remember to extend that trust and love to others. Be a light to those around you, showing them the same grace that I have shown you. Your faith is a testimony of my goodness, and through you, others will come to know the depth of my love. My child, you are never alone. I am with you in every moment, and I will always be faithful to you. Trust me, for I am the one who has called you by name, the one who has created you for a beautiful purpose. Walk in the confidence that comes from knowing I am with you, today, tomorrow, and forever, with infinite love. Your Father, ever faithful and true. My beloved children, listen to my voice, for I am speaking to you with love and truth. Know that every act of trust you place in my hands is not just a simple gesture, but a sacred deposit in my heavenly treasury. Each moment of faith you offer me, no matter how small it may seem, is being stored up for eternal rewards. Trust is a treasure. When you trust me, you are not merely surrendering your worries or your burdens. You are investing in something far greater than the things of this world. Trusting me is like planting a seed in rich soil, knowing that it will grow into a harvest that will never fade. It is a currency that transcends time and space, storing up blessings in my kingdom, where moth and rust cannot destroy. Every time you place your trust in me, whether in the quiet moments of prayer, in the midst of trials, or in the joyful acts of your daily life. You are building an eternal wealth that cannot be taken from you. In every act of trust, you are laying up treasures in heaven, where your heart will find its true home. Trust is the foundation of my kingdom. I have called you to walk by faith, not by sight. In this world, you will face many challenges, but each time you trust in my will, each time you step out in faith, you are drawing closer to the glory that awaits you. Your trust in me is a reflection of your love for me, and it pleases my heart. It is through your trust that you participate in my divine plan, and it is through trust that you experience my presence and my peace. Just as the servant who invested wisely in his master's resources was rewarded with more, so too will you be rewarded for every act of trust. I am the faithful God who sees every sacrifice, every step of faith, every moment you choose to trust in my goodness. In my kingdom, nothing is forgotten. Every act of faith is honored and multiplied. Trust will yield eternal rewards. I know this. The rewards I give are not just temporary blessings, but eternal treasures that cannot be measured by earthly standards. When you trust me, you are aligning your heart with my eternal purposes, and that brings a richness that no earthly wealth can compare to. The eternal rewards of trust are peace, joy, and a deep communion with me that will never end. When you face difficulties and do not understand the way forward, remember that your trust in me is a powerful investment. It is in those moments that you build treasures that will last forever. Your faith will carry you through every trial, and you will experience a joy that surpasses all understanding. You are my beloved. Trust in me, for I am faithful. Trust in my plan, for it is perfect. Each act of trust, no matter how small, is a precious deposit in my treasury, and it will yield eternal rewards. Remember, my child, your reward is not of this world. The treasures of heaven await you, and your trust in me is the key to unlocking all that I have prepared for you. My beloved children, I speak to you now, not only as the creator of the universe, but as the loving Father who knows every intricate detail of your life. I know your thoughts before you think them, your fears before they rise in your hearts, and your desires before they form in your soul. Nothing in your life is hidden from me. No joy, no sorrow, no triumph, no trial. I am with you always, and I am calling you to a deeper place of trust, where your heart is securely anchored in my love. Trust is the foundation of our relationship. When you trust me, you enter into a sacred exchange. You, my child, are saying, I believe that you are good, and I believe that your plans for me are good. Your trust in me is not based on what you can see or understand in the moment, but on the eternal truths of my character. Trusting me is an act of faith, a declaration that I am who I say I am, and that I will always do what I have promised. You see, trust is the currency of my kingdom. It is through trust that you access the fullness of my grace. It is through trust that you experience the depth of my peace. Trust is not a fleeting emotion. It is a firm belief in my faithfulness, no matter the circumstances. Every act of trust you offer me is a deposit into my heavenly treasury, and it will yield eternal rewards far beyond anything you can imagine. What does it mean to trust me? Trusting me is not merely about believing in my existence. It is about placing every part of your life into my hands. It is about surrendering control, knowing that I hold the keys to your present, your future, and your eternity. It is about acknowledging that I am good, even when life seems hard. It is trusting in my goodness when the world tells you to doubt. It is choosing to believe in my promises when everything around you seems to contradict them. To trust me means that you no longer try to control every outcome. You choose to walk by faith, even when the path is unclear. You hold fast to the knowledge that I am always working for your good, even when you cannot see the bigger picture. Trust means that when you are weary, you rest in my strength. When you are unsure, you rely on my wisdom. When you are afraid, you find courage in my presence. Every act of trust is a seed sown in eternal soil. Consider this. When you trust me with your struggles, your fears, and your desires, you are sowing seeds in the rich soil of my kingdom. Just as a farmer plants seeds in the earth, knowing that the harvest will come in its season, so too are you planting the seeds of faith in your life. You may not see immediate results, but trust, when fully grown, produces a harvest of righteousness, peace, and joy that will never fade. Your trust, my child, is never in vain. When you trust in my ways, you are positioning yourself to receive my blessings, both in this life and in the life to come. You are making an investment in your eternal future, for the rewards of trust are not temporary, they are everlasting. The treasures you are laying up in heaven are far more precious than any wealth or success the world can offer. Trust brings you into alignment with my will. As you trust me more deeply, you come into alignment with the purpose I have for your life. Trust is the key that unlocks my divine plan for you. When you trust me, you acknowledge that my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. You choose to walk in my footsteps, knowing that my plans are filled with hope, peace, and a future that is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. In this life, there will be moments when the road seems difficult to navigate. There will be times when you don't understand the reason for the pain you are enduring or the circumstances that feel impossible. But trust, my child, is not based on understanding. Trust is about surrendering to my will, even when you don't have all the answers. Every time you place your trust in me, you are saying, I believe that you are good, and I trust that you are working in ways I cannot yet see. Trust is not just about what happens in the moment. It is about the eternal perspective that you hold, knowing that every step of faith you take is a step closer to the glory I have prepared for you. The rewards of trust are eternal. Many times, my children, you may wonder why your faith is being tested. You may ask why you are called to trust in me when the world around you is full of uncertainty. But I tell you this, every act of trust is an investment that pays dividends in eternity. The rewards of trust are not always visible in the moment, but they are eternal and cannot be taken away. The world may offer fleeting pleasures, temporary success, or temporary relief. But the rewards I offer you for your trust are eternal. When you choose to trust me, you are not just storing up treasures for yourself in this life, but you are laying the foundation for a future that will never fade. The treasures of this world can be lost or destroyed, but the treasures I store for you in heaven will last forever. I have promised you an inheritance that is incorruptible, an inheritance that will never perish, spoil, or fade. And every act of trust is a step closer to receiving that inheritance in its fullness. Trust, my child, is what keeps you anchored to the eternal hope that I have given you in Christ. Trust in the unseen. It is easy to trust in what you can see, but true trust is found in what is unseen. When you choose to trust in my promises, even when you cannot see how they will unfold, you are exercising a faith that pleases me. I know it can be difficult to trust when your circumstances don't seem to align with what I have spoken over your life. But remember, my child, that I am the God who calls things that are not as though they are. Even when you do not see the fulfillment of my promises in the natural realm, trust that I am at work behind the scenes, preparing you for what is to come. Trust that my timing is perfect and that every delay is not a denial, but a preparation for the greater things I have in store for you. Remember, my child, the great heroes of faith, Abraham, Moses, David, and the apostles, trusted me even when they could not see the outcome. They walked by faith, not by sight, and they are now receiving the eternal rewards of their trust. So too will you, the treasure of peace. One of the greatest rewards of trust is peace. When you trust me with your heart, your mind, and your soul, you experience a peace that passes all understanding. This peace is not based on your circumstances, but on the knowledge that I am with you, that I am in control, and that I will never leave you nor forsake you. My peace is not fleeting, it is everlasting. When you trust in me, you invite my peace to rule in your heart, and in that peace you will find rest for your soul. The world offers temporary solutions to your anxiety and stress, but my peace is eternal. It is the peace that sustains you, strengthens you, and equips you to face the trials of life with confidence. Trust brings peace, and peace brings a deep, unshakable joy. When you trust me, you align yourself with my perfect will, and in that alignment, you find joy that is not dependent on your circumstances. My joy is rooted in the certainty of my love for you and the assurance of my presence with you always. Trust and obedience go hand in hand. Trust is not just an abstract concept. It is lived out in your daily decisions and actions. Trust and obedience go hand in hand. When you trust me, you will obey my commands, knowing that my ways are the best ways. Every step of obedience is a declaration of your trust in my goodness. It is easy to trust when things are going well, but true trust is demonstrated when you obey me, even in the most challenging circumstances. Obedience is not always easy, but it is always the path to peace and blessing. When you trust me, you will follow my leading, knowing that my plans for you are always for your good. The call to trust is a call to deeper intimacy with me. As you continue to trust me, you will find that your relationship with me grows deeper. Trust opens the door to greater intimacy. The more you trust me, the more you will experience my love and grace. Trust is the foundation upon which a deep, unshakable relationship with me is built. When you trust me, you are saying, I believe in you. I believe that you are who you say you are, and that you will do what you have promised. Trust draws you closer to my heart, and in that closeness, you will find rest, peace, and the joy of my presence. Trusting me brings you into alignment with my kingdom. When you trust me, you are participating in the unfolding of my kingdom on earth. Your trust brings my kingdom into your life. Every time you choose faith over fear, you are partnering with me to bring my will on earth as it is in heaven. Trust is the key that opens the door to all that I have promised. And as you trust, you will see my kingdom come through you, in your life, and in the world around you. The rewards of trust are not only for you, they are for the world, for my glory. Every act of trust is an invitation for my kingdom to break through into your world. My child, you are my treasure. I see every act of trust you make. I see the sacrifices you offer, the prayers you whisper in the quiet moments, and the faith you hold on to even when it seems like everything around you is falling apart. Know this: I treasure every step of faith you take. You are my beloved child, and I delight in your trust. As you trust me, you are laying up treasures in heaven that will never fade. These treasures are not just for you, but for the glory of my name. Each act of trust is a step towards the fullness of my plans for your life, and I promise that every act of faith will be rewarded, not just in this life, but for all eternity. So, my child, trust in me. Trust in my goodness, in my plans, and in my love. You are safe in my hands, and every act of trust is a deposit into my eternal treasury. Trust me, and I will show you the richness of my blessings, both now and forevermore. My beloved child, let us take a moment to reflect on the incredible power of trust. Trust is not just a feeling or a fleeting decision. It is the foundation upon which your spiritual journey is built. Just as a farmer plants seeds, knowing that the harvest will come in its season, so too is every act of trust you place in me a spiritual investment, building a wealth of faith that will sustain you in times to come. Trust is a sacred currency, and each time you choose to trust me, you are building spiritual equity that will serve you in the challenges ahead. The struggles you face in life are not random. They are the opportunities I provide for you to grow in trust and character. As you place your trust in me, I am preparing you for what is to come, equipping you with the strength, wisdom, and grace you will need to face future trials with unwavering confidence. In the same way that a builder prepares for a storm by reinforcing the foundation of a house, so too does trust reinforce your spiritual foundation. When you trust me in the small things, when you choose to rely on my goodness in the everyday moments, you are building a strong foundation that will withstand the storms of life. Trust strengthens you and prepares you for greater challenges that may arise. Trust is not built overnight. It is something that is cultivated over time through consistent choices to rely on me, even when you do not understand or cannot see the way forward. Trust grows as you experience my faithfulness, as you witness my hand at work in your life, and as you come to know my character more deeply. Each step of faith, no matter how small, is an act of spiritual growth, building the trust you will need for future seasons of your life. Know this: the trust you place in me is never wasted. Just as a good steward multiplies the resources entrusted to him, so do I multiply the trust you place in my hands. When you trust me with your life, I take that trust and grow it, transforming it into something far greater than you could have imagined. In the parable of the talents, I told the story of a master who entrusted his servants with his wealth. To the servant who was faithful with the little he was given, the master entrusted even more. So too, when you place your trust in me, I take that trust and multiply it. Your faith becomes a foundation upon which I build a greater work in your life. Each act of trust is like a seed planted in my fertile ground, and in my perfect timing, it will grow and bear fruit. Trusting me is not a one-time decision. It is a continual process of surrender and belief in my goodness. With every step of trust you take, I will multiply your faith and continue to grow your capacity for even greater trust. Just as a seed grows into a strong tree with deep roots, so too will your trust deepen as you walk with me. Trusting me is not a transaction, it is a relationship. And in this relationship, the more you trust me, the more I will bless you with my presence, peace, and provision. Trusting in my goodness opens the door for my blessings to flow freely into your life. Just as a well cannot fill unless the faucet is turned on, so too does trust open the floodgates for my blessings to pour into your life. The blessings I give you are not always material or visible, but they are far greater than anything the world can offer. My blessings are spiritual, eternal, and transformative. When you trust me, you are positioning yourself to receive these blessings, both now and in the future. Trust in my timing, for I will never withhold anything good from you. Every moment of trust is a moment that aligns your heart with my will and draws you closer to the fullness of my plan for your life. There will be times in your life when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear. You will face challenges that seem insurmountable, obstacles that feel impossible to overcome. But I tell you this, my beloved, the trust you build today will strengthen you for the battles of tomorrow. Trust is like armor, protecting your heart and mind when the enemy comes against you. It is the shield of faith that deflects the fiery darts of fear, doubt, and anxiety. Just as a soldier prepares for battle by training, so too do I prepare you for the spiritual battles you will face. Each time you trust me, you are training your soul to rely on my strength, to lean on my wisdom, and to stand firm in my truth. When the storm comes, your trust in me will be the anchor that keeps you grounded. Trust in me, and you will find the strength to persevere. In times of uncertainty, trust becomes your anchor. When you don't know what tomorrow holds, trust in my faithfulness. When you cannot see the way forward, trust in my plan. Even when the world around you seems chaotic, trust that I am in control and I am working all things together for your good. My child, know that when you place your trust in me, I will give you peace that transcends all understanding. This peace is not dependent on your circumstances. It is a peace that is rooted in the certainty of my love and the assurance of my presence. The more you trust me, the more you will experience this peace. For trust and peace go hand in hand. When you are overwhelmed by the challenges of life, trust in my ability to guide you. When you feel lost and uncertain, trust that I know the way, and in that trust, you will find peace. It is the peace that calms your anxious heart, the peace that stills your troubled mind, the peace that reminds you that you are not alone. Trust is the foundation of my peace in your life. And when you experience my peace, it is a testimony to the world of the power of trust in the Almighty God. My child, I want you to know that every act of trust you place in me is stored up as a treasure in heaven. Trust is not only an investment for your future on earth, it is an investment in eternity. The trust you build today will yield eternal rewards. The Bible says that where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And when you trust me, you are storing up treasures that will never fade, treasures that are beyond the reach of time, decay, or destruction. The rewards of trust are not always visible in this life, but they are eternal. They are the peace of knowing that you are walking in my will. They are the joy of knowing that I am with you, guiding you and strengthening you. And when you stand before me one day, you will be rewarded for every act of trust you placed in my hands. Trust is not only a key to receiving my blessings, it is the fuel for your spiritual growth. The more you trust, the more you grow in my likeness. Just as a child learns to trust their parents and grows in confidence, so too do you grow in faith as you trust in me. Every step of trust brings you closer to my heart. And with each step, you become more like me. Trust opens the door for my transforming power to work in your life. Trust allows my Holy Spirit to guide you, to teach you, and to shape you into the person I created you to be. As you trust, you become more aligned with my purposes, more attuned to my voice, and more able to fulfill the unique calling I have placed on your life. Know that I am a trustworthy God. I will never leave you nor forsake you. My promises are true, and my word is unchanging. Trusting me is not a gamble, for I am faithful. I will never break my word, and I will never fail you. When you place your trust in me, you are trusting in the one who has never failed and who will never fail. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My character is steadfast, and I will fulfill every promise I have made to you. Trust in my faithfulness, and you will see the abundant fruit of that trust in your life. My beloved, I call you to trust more deeply, more fully, and more completely. Trust is the key to unlocking all that I have for you. The more you trust me, the more you will experience the fullness of my love and grace. Trust is the pathway to peace, joy, and fulfillment. Trust is the foundation of your spiritual journey, and it is the means by which you will overcome every challenge, conquer every fear, and walk in the victory that I have already won for you. So I invite you now to place your trust in me, not just for today, but for all of your days. Trust me with your fears, your hopes, your dreams, and your future. Trust that I am working for your good, and that every act of trust you make is a deposit into my eternal treasury. Remember, trust builds spiritual equity for the challenges ahead, and God continuously multiplies the trust placed in Him. You are my beloved, and I am with you always, guiding you, strengthening you, and rewarding your trust with eternal blessings. My beloved child, as you continue to walk the path of trust, understand that trust is not only the key to your spiritual strength, but also the means by which you are transformed into the image of my Son, Jesus Christ. When you place your trust in me, you surrender yourself to the power of my Holy Spirit, who works within you to renew your heart and mind. Each moment you choose trust, you invite the Holy Spirit to mold you, shaping you into the person I have created you to be. Trust is the process through which your desires are aligned with mine. The more you trust in my plans for you, the more you begin to see things from my eternal perspective. Your heart becomes softer, more compassionate, and more attuned to the needs of others. The Holy Spirit, working in you, teaches you to love as I love, to forgive as I forgive, and to serve as I serve. As trust grows in your heart, it brings forth fruit that reflects my character. The more you trust in me, the more joy you will experience, even in the most challenging circumstances. This joy is not dependent on your external circumstances, but on the unshakable knowledge that I am with you. It is a joy that comes from knowing that I am at work in your life, that my plans for you are always good, and that I am leading you into a future filled with hope. Along with joy comes patience. As you trust in my timing, you learn to wait on me with grace. The more you trust, the more you understand that my timing is perfect. you begin to see that the seasons of waiting are not wasted. They are seasons of growth, preparation, and refinement. You trust that I am preparing you for something greater, even when you cannot yet see it. And as you wait in trust, you develop patience that allows you to persevere through trials, knowing that I am working all things together for your good. Faithfulness also becomes a natural byproduct of trust. When you trust me fully, you remain steadfast in your commitment to my word and my calling. Trust breeds a deep loyalty to me, and this loyalty is reflected in your obedience and your willingness to follow my lead, even when the path is difficult. As your trust grows, so does your faithfulness to my purposes. You begin to recognize that faithfulness is not just about enduring. It is about living a life that reflects my glory in every way. Trust deepens your intimacy with me. When you trust, you open the door to a closer, more intimate relationship. Just as a child trusts their parents completely, so too does trust bring you into a place of closeness with me. Trust is the foundation of all true intimacy with me. As you trust me with your heart, your fears, your dreams, and your future, you draw near to me, and I draw near to you. The more you trust, the more you experience my presence. The more you surrender, the more you will know the depths of my love for you. Trust enables you to hear my voice more clearly and to recognize my guiding hand in your life. It is through trust that you learn to rely on my wisdom and guidance in all things. Trust opens the floodgates of my grace. As you trust me, I pour out my love and mercy in abundance, transforming you from the inside out. With every act of trust, you are invited into a deeper relationship with me, one that is marked by peace, joy, and an unwavering assurance that you are never alone. As your trust deepens, it also expands your capacity to serve others. Trust is not just about your relationship with me. It is the foundation for how you interact with the world around you. When you trust me, you learn to serve others with a heart full of love and compassion. You begin to see others as I see them, and you are moved to act in ways that reflect my heart. Trust allows you to be a vessel of my peace, joy, and hope to the world. When you trust in my provision, you are able to give generously, knowing that I will always provide for your needs. When you trust in my power, you are bold in sharing the gospel and spreading my love. When you trust in my wisdom, you are equipped to make wise decisions that will impact not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. The more you trust me, the more you will see my kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Trusting in me is not just about personal growth. It is about becoming a part of the greater work I am doing in the world. Through your trust, my kingdom is established in your heart. And that kingdom is reflected in the way you live and love. My child, as you journey in trust, always remember that I am unchanging. In a world that is constantly shifting, I am your constant, your rock. You can place your trust in me with complete confidence, knowing that I will never fail you. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My love for you is unwavering, and my promises are true. In the storms of life, when everything else is uncertain, trust in my unchanging nature. Trust that I am always with you, always for you, and always working for your good. When the world around you is chaotic and unpredictable, rest in the assurance that I hold all things in my hands. You are safe in my care. I have created you for a purpose, my child. And that purpose is discovered through trust. Trust is the path that leads you to the fullness of your calling. When you trust in me, you open yourself to my direction and guidance, and I lead you into the unique plan I have for your life. Each step of trust brings you closer to understanding who I have called you to be. You were created for a reason, and as you trust me, I will reveal that reason to you. Trust in my timing, trust in my wisdom, and trust that the steps you take, no matter how small they seem, are leading you toward the fulfillment of my plan. Trust is the key that unlocks your purpose and positions you to walk in the fullness of the calling I have placed on your life. My beloved, I invite you now to trust me fully. Do not hold back. Trust me with the deepest parts of your heart, the parts that you have held on to tightly, afraid of letting go. Trust me with your fears, your dreams, your struggles, and your joys. Trust me with your future, knowing that I am already there, preparing a way for you. When you trust me fully, you step into the abundant life I have promised you. You step into a life of peace, joy, and purpose. You step into the fullness of my love and grace. Trust is the key that unlocks all of this and more. Know that I am with you always, and that every act of trust you place in my hands is an act of love and an act that pleases my heart. I will never leave you, and I will always be faithful to fulfill my promises to you. So trust me, my child. Trust in my love, in my goodness, and in my plan for your life. You are my beloved, and I will never fail you. Trust in me and watch as I take you to heights beyond your imagination, leading you into the fullness of the abundant life I have for you. Trust is most profound when it is tested. It is easy to trust in the calm, but the true depth of trust is revealed in the trials and challenges that come your way. As you face hardships, whether they are health struggles, relational difficulties, financial pressures, or emotional battles, it is in these moments that you have the opportunity to grow in trust and experience my faithfulness in new and powerful ways. In these moments, it may seem hard to understand why things are happening the way they are. But I promise you, even when you cannot see the bigger picture, I am at work behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for your good. Every trial you face is an opportunity to strengthen your trust and witness my intervention in your life. You may wonder, why does God allow suffering? Why do bad things happen? But remember this, I do not waste any suffering. Everything that happens to you is within my sovereign will, and it serves a greater purpose in your life and the lives of those around you. Trusting me in the midst of your pain is an act of faith that releases my healing power in your heart. Through every trial, I am refining you, building in you a character that reflects my Son, Jesus Christ. One of the most challenging aspects of life is uncertainty. The unknown can be intimidating, and when you cannot see the road ahead, it is easy to feel afraid or anxious. But I urge you, my child, do not let uncertainty steal your peace. Instead, use it as an opportunity to trust in my unchanging nature. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Though the future may seem unclear, know that I hold the future in my hands. When you face uncertain times, you can rest assured that I am already ahead of you, preparing the way. You do not need to know all the details. You need to know that I am faithful and that I will lead you through. Your trust is a declaration that you believe I am greater than your fears and uncertainties. Even when you don't know what tomorrow holds, you can trust that I will guide you every step of the way, providing for you, protecting you, and leading you into the future I have prepared for you. Another key aspect of trust is waiting. Waiting can be one of the hardest parts of faith, especially when you feel like things are moving too slowly or that you're being overlooked. But remember, my timing is perfect. Trusting in my timing means letting go of your own schedule and trusting that I am working all things out at just the right moment. I know what is best for you, and I am never late. The waiting seasons are not wasted. They are times of preparation, times when I am building patience, perseverance, and trust in you. Trusting in my timing means resting in the knowledge that when the time is right, I will open doors for you. You do not need to rush ahead or force things to happen. Trust that I am at work, even when you cannot see the outcome. My child, trust is not just a one-time decision. It is a lifelong process. The more you trust, the more your heart is refined, and the more you reflect my character. Just as gold is purified through fire, so too are you being refined through your trials and experiences. The challenges you face serve as opportunities for you to let go of old ways of thinking, old fears, and old habits, and to embrace my ways more fully. In every trial, I am shaping you to be more like Christ. You may not understand the process, but trust that I am at work. Each challenge you face is an opportunity for you to learn and grow in your faith, becoming more like the person I have created you to be. Trust that the work I am doing in you is for your good and my glory. Prayer is a powerful way to practice trust. When you come to me in prayer, you are acknowledging that you cannot do it on your own, and you are placing your trust in my ability to intervene. Prayer is an act of surrender, a way of expressing your reliance on me for strength, guidance, and provision. Through prayer, you align your heart with mine, and you invite my peace and wisdom into every situation. When you pray, trust that I hear you, that I understand your needs, and that I am already at work. Even if the answer doesn't come immediately, trust that I am working in ways you cannot yet see. The more you pray, the more you deepen your trust in me. Prayer strengthens your trust, reminding you that you are not alone, that I am with you, and that I will always be faithful to answer according to my will. As you grow in trust, you will also grow in your ability to minister to others. Trust allows you to serve with an open heart, to love without expecting anything in return, and to give freely of what I have given you. When you trust me fully, you are able to serve others in the way that I have served you, with humility, compassion, and grace. Your trust is not just for your own benefit. It is a testimony to others of my goodness and faithfulness. When others see you walking in trust, especially in difficult times, they are encouraged to place their trust in me as well. Your life becomes a witness to the world of my love, and through your trust, others will be drawn to the truth of the gospel. My child, as you continue to trust me, know that every act of trust, no matter how small, is an investment in your eternal reward. Trusting in me is not just about what you experience in this life. It is also about the rewards that await you in heaven. Every act of faith, every moment of surrender, every prayer of trust adds to the treasure you are storing up in heaven. Your trust has eternal significance. It brings you closer to the heart of God, and it builds up a legacy that will outlast this life. Trusting me not only transforms you in the here and now, but also prepares you for the eternal future I have promised you. Keep your eyes fixed on the reward that is to come, the eternal joy and peace that will be yours when you stand in my presence. As you continue to practice trust in everyday life, remember that I am faithful, I am trustworthy, and I will never fail you. Trust is not always easy, but it is always worth it. The more you trust, the more you will experience my peace, joy, and love. Trusting me opens the door to a deeper relationship with me and positions you to fulfill the purpose I have for your life. Every moment of trust is an opportunity for transformation. Every act of surrender is a step toward becoming more like Christ. And every trial, every waiting season, and every challenge is an invitation to grow in trust, knowing that I am with you, working all things together for your good. So, my child, trust me fully. In the quiet days, in the stormy days, and in every day in between, I am your faithful Father, and I will never leave you. As you place your trust in me, you will experience the fullness of life that I have promised you, a life marked by peace, joy, and eternal reward. When you choose to trust in me, my child, you open the door to a deep and abiding peace that transcends the circumstances of your life. This peace is not based on the absence of trouble, but on the presence of my steadfast love and faithfulness. Even in the midst of life's trials and challenges, trusting in me grants you a peace that sustains you through it all. In the difficult seasons, when the weight of the world seems heavy on your shoulders, trust becomes your anchor. It is not the absence of problems that brings peace, but the confidence that I am with you through every storm. This peace, my child, is not of this world. It is a peace that comes from knowing that I am in control, that I have already overcome the world, and that I will never leave you or forsake you. As you trust in me, I will give you the strength to endure, the wisdom to navigate your challenges, and the assurance that your heart is secure in my hands. My peace will guard your heart and mind, protecting you from anxiety, fear, and despair. It is the peace that allows you to rest, even when everything around you is chaotic. It is the peace that comes from knowing that your future is secure in my care, and that I am working all things together for your good. Psalm 56:3-4 says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise, in God I trust, and am not afraid. What can mortal man do to me?" This powerful passage reveals the profound truth that trusting in me removes fear, especially the fear of those things that seem to threaten your very life. When you trust in me, the fear of mortal threats loses its power over you. Fear of circumstances, fear of people, fear of the unknown. All of these fears dissolve in the light of my trustworthiness. David, in this psalm, was facing threats from enemies, but he chose to place his trust in me. Even in the face of danger, he declared his trust in my protection and sovereignty. He understood that no matter what others might do to him, no mortal threat could separate him from my love, nor could it alter my plan for his life. Just as David found peace in his trust in me, you too can find peace when you place your trust in me. Fear will no longer dominate your heart when you recognize that I, the creator of the universe, am your protector. The threats and fears of this world may seem overwhelming, but they are nothing in comparison to my power and might. When you trust in me, fear will lose its grip on you. I will give you courage to face every challenge, knowing that no mortal threat can ever stand against my strength. Remember, my child, trusting me brings a peace that the world cannot offer. It is a peace that transcends understanding and guards your heart against fear. When you trust in my promises, you can walk in confidence, knowing that I am with you, protecting you, and leading you through every trial. My beloved child, trust in me is not just about finding peace in the midst of your trials. It is also about gaining the strength you need to overcome them. Every challenge you face, no matter how daunting, is an opportunity to rely on the strength that comes from me. When you trust in my ability to sustain you, you are empowered to endure whatever difficulties arise. In moments of weakness, when you feel that you are at the end of your rope, I am your source of strength. I do not leave you to face your challenges alone. I am always with you, providing the fortitude you need to persevere. In the face of suffering, you can find strength in knowing that I am your refuge and your strength, an ever-present help in times of trouble. Psalm 46:1. As you place your trust in me, I equip you with the spiritual resources to navigate life's toughest circumstances. You are not called to rely on your own strength, but to trust in my mighty power working within you. When you feel weary, my child, I will renew your strength. When you feel like you can't go on, I will carry you. The strength that comes from trusting me is supernatural. It is the strength of my Holy Spirit who dwells in you, empowering you to stand firm in your faith and face every trial with courage. With each step of trust, I increase your capacity to endure, to rise above fear, and to live victoriously in the face of adversity. Trust in me, and you will find that you are stronger than you ever thought possible. Not because of your own abilities, but because of the strength I provide. Trusting in me also empowers you to live free from fear. Fear has a way of paralyzing you, causing you to doubt and retreat from the challenges that lie ahead. But when you trust in me, fear loses its grip on your heart. I did not give you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. When you choose to trust in my promises, fear no longer has a place in your life. Even in the midst of terrifying circumstances, you can stand firm, knowing that I am with you. The Apostle Paul encourages us in Philippians 4:6-7 to do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. This peace that guards your heart is not just the absence of fear. It is a supernatural courage that comes from knowing that I am in control. When you trust in me, fear does not have to rule your life. You do not need to be overwhelmed by the circumstances that threaten to shake your confidence. Instead, trust in my faithfulness, and you will experience victory over fear. Remember, my child, I am your shield and your fortress. When you trust in me, you can walk with confidence, knowing that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. I have already overcome the world, and in me you have victory over every fear, every doubt, and every threat. To trust in me means to believe in the promises I have made to you, my child. My promises are sure and unshakable, and they serve as a foundation for your trust. When you face difficulties, you can stand firm in the knowledge that I have promised to never leave you or forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:6. My word is truth, and my promises are always fulfilled in my perfect timing. When you trust in me, You believe that I will do what I have said. You trust that I will provide for your needs, that I will protect you, and that I will give you peace that surpasses understanding. The more you meditate on my promises, the more you will be equipped to trust me in every situation. My promises remind you that I am faithful and that I will always fulfill what I have spoken over your life. In times of doubt or uncertainty, I encourage you to turn to my word. There you will find comfort, encouragement, and a deep assurance that I am with you. You can trust that everything I have promised to you will come to pass. My timing may not always align with your own, but trust that I know what is best for you, and that I am working all things together for your good. Romans 8:28. Trust is not only about believing in my promises, but it is also about obeying my word. Trusting me means acting on what I have said, even when it doesn't make sense to you. Faith and obedience go hand in hand. When you trust me, you take steps of faith, even when you cannot see the full picture. Trusting me requires surrendering your will and following the path I have laid out for you. Abraham is a powerful example of trust and obedience. When I called him to leave his home and go to a place he did not know, Abraham trusted me completely. He obeyed, even though the journey ahead was uncertain. And because of his faith, I made him the father of many nations. Genesis 12:1-3. His story teaches us that trusting in me requires a willingness to obey, even when the road ahead is unclear. When you obey my commands, you are demonstrating your trust in my wisdom and authority. You are saying, Lord, I believe that your way is the best way, even when I don't fully understand. Your obedience is a reflection of your trust, and it leads to a deeper relationship with me. It is through obedience that you experience the fullness of my blessings and the peace that comes from walking in my will. There are seasons in life when it feels like nothing is happening. You may feel as though your prayers are unanswered or that you are stuck in a place of waiting. But even in these seasons, trust in me. Waiting is not a time of inactivity, but a time of preparation. I'm working behind the scenes, aligning everything in your life according to my perfect plan.